And we're back with the question and answer session, or as we like to call it, the After Dark section, named by Fastcart. Ironically, because you both have names with F and you're both horrible trolls, I don't know if it was Fastcart or Fairasult. It could have been both of you at the same time, because you are like one brain in one that's connected across the
On
continent.
Citizen, we had After Dark for the past 5 years.
Oh, was it?
5 years.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Because I think you made that joke at the beginning of the year, or when we started. Like, it's the question answer session. You're like, oh, an After Dark session where we can get like really. I was like, oh, that's a good way of putting it. So I'm ruthlessly stealing it from Soul Citizens. Just know that, you know.
It works. It works.
Appropriation, Paul. Really?
Yes.
No,
don't worry. I'll get you. I'll get you 40 acres on a mule, but it's just going to be two land.
I appreciate it. Finally.
It's going to be 2 land claims and a Drake mule. So don't ask too much for it.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to seeing those in my hand.
Yeah. So this is where we take questions from the audience. We talked a little bit earlier. If you missed the last section, it'll be above Fastcart's head if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to us on podcast, we just talked about it. We talked about the movies that made Star Citizen, the movies that sort of inspired, and TV shows. But it's punchier to say the movies, but you know, movies and TV shows that kind of sort of influenced the aesthetics and the themes of Star Citizen. So now we're going to take questions. The first question is from Gin and Tonic, who asked, Battlestar Galactica influenced. Aren't we just all skin jobs now? Oh, because of the
right.
Ibrahim sphere is very similar to the Cylon technology.
Mm-hmm.
Kinda. Cylon technology is more of cloning, though, because it can be like multiple versions of the same person. Oh yeah. Someone's got a question for Night Cobb.
So people ask questions.
Yeah, ask more questions, y'all. I think it's because I forgot to turn on the question bot.
The question bot.
Yeah. So ask more questions.
Can I mention something that I didn't mention in the first segment?
Sure.
Yeah, sure.
So like we were talking about influencers, and I didn't get a chance to mention what you call it, Demolition Man, the 3 seashells. That's actually in Star Citizen. Like
yes.
I was misremembering. I thought it was on the 890, but actually it's in the toilet and Kovalex distribution center. Had 3 seashells there, so that's in the game.
I think the original 300 had 3 seashells as well. But yeah, I mean, there's another one that everyone wants to see that I don't know if CIG will ever do, which is Fifth Element.
Yeah.
Like people keep talking about the Drake Cutter taco truck, which is just a reference to the
the freelancer
to the the Chinese barge in
right food truck.
That food truck from that. So Paul has not watched Aliens. Let's pick at the stream. I did watch Aliens for this stream. I watched Alien and Aliens.
Wait, started off with you're welcome, Paul.
Yeah.
And he still doesn't like it
when
that
I was
much.
sick.
Can you believe that shit, guys?
It's okay. It's not my style.
It's just okay.
Here's the thing. I feel like if I had watched it at a younger age, before I was exposed to a lot of other science fiction, I probably would have liked it. But
I'm sorry. How could you hear the M4A pulse rifle for the first time and not just be like, that's and the smart guns?
Yeah. Well, I was actually going to say the F-55 is clearly
on
a
the
reference,
gyro, like
is clearly an influence from the smart guns, from the like those with the barrels and everything like that. We also didn't even mention Predator, but like Predator is also sort of heavily influenced by aliens. So similar concept.
So I have a question.
You didn't immediately fall in love with it, and that's beyond me.
Like I said, and maybe because I if I would have seen it earlier in my life, I would have been more interested in it. Sorry, Fastcar.
I can get that. It's like people who watch maybe a Superman Christopher Reeve Superman movie now, they
Uh-huh.
prefer the new Superman over the Christopher Reeve one because it's more relevant, more recent. But I still prefer the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Yeah, I get it.
But I do have a question, since we're long question. So, what influence do you wish Star Citizen would take from a sci-fi TV show or movie?
Freaking easy. Anything that was mecha 80s anime. Anything from
Okay,
that genre. Partially,
Titan suit.
well, because basically every single mecha, real robot mecha is what they call it in Japan.
Okay.
But like any sort of real robot mecha, real robot genre in from the late 70s and early 80s was influenced by Gundam. And Gundam was heavily influenced by hard science fiction of the age. Like the colonies of Gundam are all O'Neill cylinders, and they're all modeled
Right.
after actual O'Neill cylinders, which was a big theme of that era. Is when like the 70s and 80s was when the O'Neill cylinder concept was first becoming like big and interesting, and so a lot of robot series of that time were very like, what would it be like if we actually had giant robots running around in our day-to-day lives. And so it feeds into the cyberpunk dystopia, but it also feeds into like the like more of the what would it be like to actually live in space and work in space. And I feel like there's just not a lot of that influence in Star Citizen. Star Citizen has got a lot of that fantasy, that Star Trek, Star Wars sort of vibes to it, where it's like we all have grav technology and we fire space lasers and plasma. It's just energy weapons, you know. There's nothing like sit down and let's explain the hard realities of it, you know. So, sorry.
Griffin, what would you like to see from sci-fi put into stuff?
What influences, science fiction influences, would you like to see in Star Citizen?
You have to come back to me. Do not Cobb. I really got to think about that. Okay. It's not science. It's not influences, but it does have to do with a shift in tone. Right now, much of the development has been built around the UEE, and obviously the Vanduul's always been there. A lot of stuff, whether it's distribution centers, whether it's the Onyx, the labs, it's all based around the combative side of the game. I would love to see the balance start to spread more toward the exploration side. And so anything that has to do with, encounters and making decisions about how we respond to encounters in space. So I'm thinking more Star Trek-ish, a little bit more than Starship Trooper-ish. Is just kind of just balancing it. Not that it has to swing that way, but just that the scale starts to shift a little bit more. That's probably the thing for me, that if I were to say that universe, and that universe has that, there's those opportunities where there's a little bit of both of that there, but I just would like to see more of the other side for players who want to expand into other areas of sci-fi and gameplay. I do like one thing. I when you think about we were talking about Alien, and for those who weren't around back in the day because you weren't born, the moniker for Alien when it first came out, and I know Cobb knows this, was "In space, no one can hear you scream." And we had never had anything that took us into space that brought fear and terror. It was always space stuff came to Earth and brought the terror, right?
Mm.
So it was already scary enough to go into space, but now to think that you're going into space and that there's something scarier in space, scarier than space in space, was a different thing. So I would love for them to start making some unknowns out in space more, things that we don't even know what they are. Like, what was remember in Star Trek Voyager, what was it, species 78652, whatever their number was?
2749, something like that.
Remember we thought the Borg were the big dogs, and we found out there was somebody bigger than the Borg. I would love for there to be something like the Krithak, or something that's just, or maybe we don't even know what it is. Maybe it hasn't been Krithak, just something that's bigger than the Vanduul. I would love to see something that we have to figure it out because we don't know what the heck it is.
Something along the lines of making space an enemy itself, like having to survive space,
Yeah, even that. Absolutely. Absolutely. We take it for granted, right? When we, most of the time, if we like introducing the vacuum of space, even the vacuum into our ships, stuff like that. I would love for that stuff to be. I know some people wouldn't like that because it's a little bit too much realism, but I would like to see it.
Nikon.
Nicob?
Well, I should have been thinking about something this whole time to line up for right after.
First, Griffin, because Astropub gave that whole long ass answer. Griffin had a chance to think about. Now
You
Griffin
think I
gave
would
a
have
whole
used that
long
time
ass
wisely,
answer,
but I did not. I was just absorbed in the content of the conversation, and I was just like, now you're on to me, and I'm like, shit.
What
I'm not
themes
sure.
would you like to see? I mean, some people are saying Space Above and Beyond, but I'd argue that Space
yeah,
Above.
we talked about that during the break.
But I'd argue Space
Kind of
Above
already in there a little bit.
It is very much in there. For those of you who haven't seen
Yeah.
Space Above and Beyond, there's two layers to it. It's this is World War II. This is the Pacific War in World War II, which is Chris's bread and butter. That's basically what Wing Commander was. And then there's also a sub thing about the mystery of the Chigs, of the alien species that we're fighting. And there's sort of like a mystery build up behind the scenes, done by the same people who did X-Files. So it's going to have a little conspiracy angle to it. And that like both of those are sort of already in there, and we can already see those themes, like who are the Vanduul, why are they coming at us, all that sort of stuff is like that's already built in. Plus the whole Squadron 42 is going to be the Pacific Theater in World War II, like kind of idea. Yep. So I don't think it's nearly as overt as the Wing Commander series was, but
I'll offer this. I'll tell you what I want them to adopt real bad, and I got real excited about it for a long time, and then over the last couple of years ago, so they already develop, or they already influence a lot, or get influenced a lot by aliens and stuff like that. But man, the pyro whip crab, or whatever it is now, the pyro crab used to be.
Yeah,
it's a whip crab.
I really wanted that to be where they really just like sunk their teeth into the aliens thing. Like when Pyro came out, I was like, God, I really hope, guys, now that they're doing aliens and critters and stuff like that, like, and they have the new sand caves, like they had the beautiful sand caves, and they were doing all these other types of caves, and I was like, please let one of the missions be in like going down in these caves with my FS9 or F55, and dealing with waves of crabs coming at me. I want to pull a Vasquez and just scream "Let's rock" and let loose on the F-55 to the sound of them going down. Like that's what I wanted out of that. So I haven't done it yet. Maybe someday.
I'm down for that. That's one thing I've been waiting for a long time, is sort of like a horde wave sort of defense. Yeah. And my then again, I also think that's sort of like the perfect sort of genre for the Titan suits, where you have these giant freaking like crabs running at you, and you have these like Starship Troopers, the book style power armor firing at alien bugs, kind of thing. So
to answer my own question, like I've already mentioned the Ranger. I want my career moment. I just put more anime influence into Star Citizen. Like maybe like I don't know, people familiar with Bubblegum Crisis or Bubblegum Crash.
Oh God, I love Bubblegum Crisis, man.
So like bring a hard shoot like that. So if we can have like a Titan, like a mech suit, like Paul said. But I think
you
we're
want
more
mech
likely
suits with heels. I got you.
I'm
picking up what you're putting down.
I'm only 5'2", so anything make me look taller. But no, but I think probably a more real chance of what I could ask for that we can get is like an Avengers Endgame, except for having the superheroes from Endgame. We get Molly, Grumble, Jack, and those two podcasters that we had from IAE. But of course, Molly get the highest kill count.
Of course. She's secretly a genius. All right, I'm just all I'm gonna say. Molly is secretly a genius. All right, let's go for some more questions here. Next question comes from Gin and Tonic, who asks, not a question, but I want to say I really enjoyed today's episode. Pure fun, no drama. It's always nice to do a little, just a deep dive into something that has nothing to do with the drama that's going on. And I am a guy who has a minor in theater, like themes and storytelling and aesthetics are my thing. I almost legitimately went into to become a theater historian. Like that was one of the tracks I was getting into. And this is the kind of shit that I like fucking love, which is like, let's talk about the aesthetics. Where did people get this idea? Where did this come from? Where are these, that sort of thing from? So love it. Serious Fun asks, given the secret family history of Mr. Obutu from the Wing Commander movie, what character or community in Squadron 42 Star Citizen do you think will also turn out to have a secret identity or be different from what we know them to be today? Mr. Obutu from the Wing Commander movie. Wasn't he the first officer? I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't he the black guy?
Yeah, he was the black guy. He was like I forgot what his twist was. I thought that was Paladin who was the twist.
Yeah, Paladin was the twist, I thought.
Yeah, Paladin was the secret pilgrim.
It was also like the secret
admiral,
secret
Commodore.
agent.
It was Commodore.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was he was just supposed to be a civilian pilot, and it turns out he was actually a Commodore in the Confederation Navy.
Yeah. Joke's on you guys. I'm not a freighter pilot.
Yeah.
I'm actually above all of you in rank.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the characters that we know in Squadron 42. Maybe Bishop, because he's so old.
Maybe
you gotta have some skeletons in that closet somewhere, or maybe Middleton is actually a good guy for once.
I like that just comes with age. Like he's so old that he's got to have skeletons in his closet somewhere. Like it's just like we inherit those. Okay.
I don't know. I think we could see Captain White. We have a little bit of information about Captain White, or the XO. I forgot her name. Who's played by Ronan.
Yeah, man. You can never. The XO's always got a dark past.
Yeah.
You know? There's something about the XO.
Is that Mark Strong? Is that Mark Strong or someone else?
No, that was it's Ronan Mitra.
Did it, so.
Ronan Mitra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she we already know how she comes off. Like when you first meet her, she does the like we're small, we're a tight crew, but we're not going to be on the Van Duel front, but that doesn't mean the work we don't do is important, and it's just like gives you the dressing down of the second you get on the Stanton. So
Church once said Obutu was also a secret pilgrim.
Oh, was he also a secret pilgrim?
Oh wow.
Okay.
According to Wiki, which that never lies. So.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys got me wanting to watch the movie again, though. I'll tell you what. No,
I do want to go watch the movie. That's the one movie I haven't seen in a long time, and I got to go see that.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
We saw it last year, so we're good.
Yeah. My parents just started talking to me again, guys. But now I'm going to go back.
Don't invite them.
Well, no. Yeah.
He has to. It's
decades of goodwill earned hard. I don't want to destroy it. Guys, let's watch Wing Commander again.
Yeah, we could do a live watch with the Alpha Pub, right? No.
Well, the person who owns the rights to broadcast is still Chris, apparently. He got, because that was the big thing, is he got the rights to broadcast it back in 2014 or something like that.
I can't think of his name. The guy who left. I can't think of his name. It was Alexis
Ben Lesnick.
Ben
Lesnick.
Yeah.
Ben?
Yeah, didn't he do it one time?
Yeah, they showed it off in one of the Citizen Cons. They actually showed off the entire movie at a theater. It was like one of the early Citizen Cons.
Okay.
God, that's kind of cringe, but
yeah.
All right.
Hey, 2013, it was fine.
Yeah, we're talking like.
Sometimes I'm glad I showed up in like 2020, 2021. It's just like the shit you guys dealt with in the like 2000 and teens, man. Holy shit! I'm amazed you're still here.
Who else would have the rights? I think 20th Century Fox owns it, or was it? I forgot who owns the rights to that one.
I want to say it's 20th Century.
20th Century Fox, I think, owns it. I think they've been slowly getting rid of it, and I think Chris snapped it up when he had a chance to, when he was flush with cash with Star Citizen. But which would be funny if he doesn't own it, because that would mean technically Disney owns it. And we should start a petition to get Disney to put Wing Commander on Disney Plus.
Oh my goodness!
So For those of you who've never seen Wing Commander, I'll tell you, like, one of the coolest things about Wing Commander is when you start that off, right? Kicks off with the 20th Century Fox music, which if you grew up with Star Wars, that gives you tingles by default. And then it immediately follows into this really great, like, audio clips, mashup collage, where they're like kind of like describing how like the human race evolved to this point of space travel, and the music is straight up fire. Like you like sit through that first part and you're like, I'm in for a good ride here, and then unfortunately it's just really downhill.
Okay, so
you get like really amped up and you're like, oh man, this is gonna be good. And then just
so if Disney owned Wing Commander, does that make Rosie Forbes or Lieutenant Rosie Forbes a Disney princess?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
No, I think there was some big thing where Chris got some of the rights back, if not all of the rights back, to it recently. So, I can't overemphasize how I believe people hate it way too much, because I think people hated it because it wasn't as good as the games were. Even like because the games have the games have better cinematic direction and storytelling than the movie does, and that's because the games also have 20 hours of content for you to go through. And I think someone did like a Wing Commander 4 matchup where they took out all of the like cutscenes from Wing Commander 4, and there's like a 3-hour movie. So like there's a lot more content in there, so it kind of makes it a little bit better. But at the same time, I think people didn't like it because it's not as good, but it's also fine if you're okay with a schlocky B movie. A schlocky B movie that's making references to Das Boot and World War II action, like classic.
That's not shit on Das Boot though, all right? You guys keep putting that in the same category.
Listen, I'm not gonna. How dare I? I am not saying Das Boot is bad. I'm not gonna shit on the quintessential submarine movie. But like,
we just keep like putting them right next to each other. Well, would like one to be over here.
It's because he got the original. He got the original captain from the movie to play the captain in the Tiger's Claw. Like, he's not making it subtle.
That's funny.
But yeah, that's a great example as well. If you want to go watch a movie that influenced Chris Roberts, clearly Das Boot. Which version though?
He likes submarines, man.
Yeah,
you can tell. Like the Polaris, when I first walked onto it, I was like, okay, I can see where we're still drawing a lot of our influences.
You mean the Javelin? Cool. The Polaris is the Polaris. Yeah, the Polaris is still out. Actually, yes. That whole thing that got you in trouble with your superior officers. The Polaris, the clip that got there about like, a real submariner talking about his fictional space submarine.
Yeah, you did that.
Yeah. I'm forgetting that the Polaris is actually, and I was thinking the Nautilus, but like, but yeah.
Yeah, that was my Commodore. I saw you on the internet doing some kind of nerd podcast. What's that all about? Like, sorry, sir. Did you watch the rest of it? And he was like, no.
Good.
Sorry. Yeah, no, it's kind of
like, all right. Stay silent after that. Just stay silent after that.
Well, no, I mean, he did what he did say after that. He was like, I did tell the rest of the crew at the office. So, I watched it, and I was like, sweet.
But that's the question, though, because like aren't there like two different versions? There's the remake of Das Boot that came out in like the 80s, I want to say, or 90s, and then there was the original, which is from like the 50s. Or am I blanking on that one? It was the 40s that came out.
I'm only tracking the 50s.
Yeah, because I remember there was a remake.
If there's a new one in the 80s.
There was a remake. There was a remake. No, there was a remake of what's this guy's name? A director. Shoot, very well-known director made it.
1981. 1981.
Yeah,
Wolfgang Peterson.
Wolfgang Peterson did it. Yeah,
okay.
yeah, and it was actually decent. I
don't know, man. We don't watch.
They even did a Criterion version of it, if I'm remembering correctly. Yeah,
that's weird. We don't really watch the 80s one.
Oh yeah, check it out.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Check it out.
I'm trying to think. Wasn't there? This is only pulling up the 1981 version. Was there a the 50s one?
I thought so.
I thought there was. I might be wrong.
Based on something.
Because it says it's based off of a 1973 novel. So that may be the one. I think it's just because it's in black and white. That's why I'm thinking it's older.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind. Yeah, it's 1980s one.
Yeah. Okay. Both available on Apple TV. Yeah. Was there one in the 2019? Oh, there's a TV show came out in 2019. Okay. Well, yeah.
Oh, I did not know there was a TV show. All right. I'll have to let the guys know.
I did watch U571, which isn't nearly as good as Das Boot, but it's a fun action schlock if you like that. It's very much trying to do Das Boot but for Americans, and it's like not as.
So I think somebody brought up Hunt for Red October. And
Yes.
we didn't talk about that really much as a film
Not
influence
sci-fi.
Yeah, it's not sci-fi, but man, a lot of the tones and stuff like that, and you can see a lot of that in like what Chris likes in terms of interaction between military hierarchy and all that kind of stuff. So, and side note, Hunt for Red October is still my gold standard if you want like the most accurate representation of like submarine stuff in movies.
Hold up, question for you. How would you match that against Crimson Tide?
The only thing Crimson Tide gets right.
Too dramatic.
Yeah. And not only that, well, I'll tell you what Crimson Tide gets right. Crimson Tide gets right the amount of times that we use the word fuck across all levels of the chain of command, like captain and down, like that word is used.
It's in there, huh? Yeah.
That's the only movie that gets that right. And but that's what we do. We say that all. I mean, verb, adjective, noun. It does not matter.
I mean, the sailor mouth comes from something. I'll just say that. And as I'm married to a Navy brat, I can tell you it definitely comes from something. And that was her father worked on my father-in-law worked on aircraft carriers, not submarines. So I assume that the versatility of the word fuck is used across the entire U.S. Navy in all different levels. So
and I'd love to lay claim to it in the submarine. And Chat's right; it's not even just like submarine force and military, but I mean it's cross branch. But I will say though, what I like about that movie though is again pay attention to the captain. The captain is using it nonstop. And that is probably what's usually when you get a little bit higher up, like in most branches of the military that dials down a little bit, but not so much on the submarine force. The submarine force is pretty all over the board.
With that gig, it can be understood. Believe me, there's a lot of pressure. Pardon the expression.
Yeah, but other than that, Crimson Tide is dog shit in terms of reality for submarines. I like Hunt for Red October though. It's pretty solid.
I love Hunt for Red October. Sean Connery, that whole scene is great. I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of submarines, we never mentioned Sequest DSV. No, I'm kidding.
I used to watch. I used to watch Sequest when I was sick at home from school, and all I remember.
I watched the whole thing, but only on the first one.
I remember it being.
Yeah, the first one I watched. All the other variants of it just got too far from me.
The schlock of the '90s of like, well, Star Trek is doing good. Let's see how many different Star Trek knockoffs we can make in the '90s. That's what it was,
Yeah.
Oh, Down Periscope. Clearly, Down Periscope is the best.
Yeah, Down Periscope
is the best.
Or up Periscope. That's funny.
I mean, I like it, but it gets quoted as like one of the most accurate submarine movies, and I'm like, only really? In like, yeah, it does. By my own community. Everybody in the like, and that's the thing. Like, I know it's really weird because I find it reprehensible. If a CEO put his crew in the type of danger that one does, like for a training exercise, I'd be like, never serving under that guy. That guy has no regard for human life under his command. Like he's like that's doing funny. Stuff like going between the screws of a merchant ship at depth. Like it's one of those things.
He bottoming
like,
out
flooding.
at some point.
He caused flood. Yeah, he grounded the submarine. Like he caused flooding on board that submarine as part of a training exercise. Like part of me is just like, yeah, no. Don't get me wrong. The antics, I think, is why people pick it.
Yeah.
Like the antics is like because we'll do that stuff. and everybody loves the electrician who takes like one wire and grabs the other wire after he like licks his fingers and stuff like that, and they like that is like the example of a submarine electrician, and that's grossly inaccurate too right now.
I did that
Everybody
last
likes
week. What are you
it.
talking about?
Everybody likes it. No, I like Hunt for October. If you're gonna pick, like, you want some accuracy and you want some, I mean, it's obviously got Hollywood dribbled in, but you get the tone and the feel. Not only that, but they used real like control centers for like the Dallas, like that is control on a Los Angeles class. Granted, it's a 1980s Los Angeles class control, so before any upgrades, but like, that's what
I mean that shows you how much the Navy was okay with Tom Clancy using those sort of the Tom Clancy verse, because this was done in the 1990s, so like
well, I mean, the pilots got their recruitment video with Top Gun, so I mean, we needed something.
All right,
it's a volunteer community, so
CM Fool asks, can you explain how the Redeemer is the best starship in Star Citizen? No. Grunting 61. I'm only gonna slowly gloss over it, only because if there needs to be an entire episode where Paul Shelley just rants about the Redeemer for an hour and a half, and that will be a thing.
That'll be next week. How about that?
Yeah,
I'll be on again.
It'll be April 1st. It'll be April 1st. It'll be the full April Fool's Day, where we just talk about the Redeemer and everything that's wrong with it. Ironically, there is a show we do on the Info Runners called "Can We Fix It?" and we've been trying to do a "Can We Fix It" for the Redeemer forever, but we've never really had a way to like sit down and actually hammer out how we can fix it. Because every time we get to it, it's like something else comes up with it. So,
well, the irony is, like, it seems like the way it's going right now that the Paladin's out, and the CIG is ready to let that ship just die.
Yeah, which is sad. Like, as much as I am a hater of that ship, I hate it because it was never given its potential. Like, it has such good potential and just left to rot. So, April 1st is a Wednesday in 2026. We'll figure something out. Gruntling61 asks, am I crazy to think that the Endeavor biodomes are influenced by the movie Silent Running?
I don't think it's crazy. I can see that.
No, I don't think it's crazy at all.
I think Silent Running, but also, wasn't that also in Battlestar Galactica? Wasn't there a ship in Battlestar Galactica which had the same sort of biodomes?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Maybe I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Which is itself a reference to Silent Running. Like, they wouldn't have gotten that.
Yeah.
What was it? And someone corrected me. I said it was done by the DS9 crew. It was the guy who's the show leader was a writer on DS9. But I think a lot of the folks who helped make DS9.
So you got a lot about a bunch of nerds in chat, man.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
It's like
fact checking us, guys.
It's like there's a new Apple TV show out. What's it called? It's science fiction. Starts with a P. I can't remember the name of it. Not Murderbot. It's the one it's done by the same guy who did Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad. Pluribus, yeah, Pluribus. And everyone's like, "Oh, it's done by the guy who did Better Call Saul." And I'm like, "You mean the guy who one of the executive producers of the X-Files?" Yes. That guy, like, people are like, oh, it's a bold science fiction move from the guy who did Breaking Bad. I'm like, he was one of the creators of the X-Files, guys. Of course, he's gonna do weird science fiction shit. That's where
Paul, as we say in the Navy, you're only as good as your last evolution.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, Apple TV has so many good TV shows, though. Like
there's
Foundation.
So many science fiction shows on Apple TV.
Foundation is excellent.
Murderbot is great. Foundation. For All
For
Mankind.
All Mankind. That's another one.
Yeah, Mankind was good.
There's the Monarch series, which is like
Monarch. That's returning too. That's returning.
I will say, by the way, speaking of Monarch, for those of you that are also fans of The Last Starfighter, Kurt Russell and his son, I can't remember his son's name.
Kyle.
No, Wyatt.
Yeah.
Wyatt.
They both did an interview a while back where they were talking right after Monarch came out, where they were talking about like what other father-son projects would they really like to do? And they both mentioned that they would be really interested in kicking off like a Last Starfighter like sequel or something within that IP.
I'd love to see that. That'd be great.
Me freaking too.
I love Wyatt Russell. he's one of those guys who, like, there's a handful of people who are the nepo babies, who are like the actors who got into acting because their parents were into acting, but like that there's a handful of them that I'm like, yeah, but they're really good actors. Like the guy who plays Huey in The Boys. I have to look up his name.
I mean, Wyatt is in the not the Avengers, Thunderbolts too.
Yeah,
he played the USA. He is really good.
Underutilized character in that movie too. I'm not going to get started on that game though.
I'm trying to figure out who.
But the thing is, the Last Starfighter, that's an 80s movie. I don't know if they can pull off the same magic or even improve on the magic. I don't think it'll be. I'm not confident that they will be able to pull off a good movie.
Man, I feel like we need more movies like that these days. Like that movie is so positive in its outlook, but at the same time, just completely underrated in terms of what it the message it was trying to send, the positivity around that. I don't know, man. These days, like, well, we get a lot of Hollywood trash for one, but I mean, a lot of it's somewhat cynical and
I mean, I think the only exception I've seen is like Top Gun Return.
Oh, you're talking about Maverick?
Yeah, Maverick.
Yeah, you can probably tell by my freaking background how much I like that movie. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
But
I mean,
movie
like, did really well.
I like stuff like Coming to America, the sequel. I don't think it was as good as the original. So yeah, it's just hard to replicate that stuff. The new Ghostbusters stuff.
But I think what Night Cop's talking about is, though, there are certain films in the genre we're talking about that create a certain level of theme and escape for people. Star Wars was like that when it came out. It took people someplace amidst all that was going on in the world at that time. And so he's saying, like, The Last Starfighter, it could possibly be that film that takes people someplace else again, makes people dream, like E.T. did. It was certain films that is something tied into what's happening in real life that makes people want to go and see those type of films when they happen.
A great example of this is what Superman has done to the latest Superman has done for superhero movies. Whereas, like, superhero movies are all quip and that kind of stuff in the latest Superman movies. A lot more hope and, goodness and stuff like that. There's some sort of like uplifting approach to it rather than just sort of this everything sucks, everyone's gonna die, dystopian sort of fiction you get with a lot of modern science fiction. Like, I like Andor, but Andor is pretty depressing and bleak when you watch it.
Wonderfully so, but I agree. Yeah, I'm with you, Paul. Like, I mean, sometimes that's just not what you want. Sometimes you want that like that upbeat. Like, I'll be honest with you, The Last Starfighter is comfort food for me in a lot of ways. Like this in this timeline. Like, don't blame me on that one, all right?
Hold on, I'm looking up. What was that Star Wars TV show with the children?
There's like pirate ship or something like that. Ghost ship.
Oh yeah. Skeleton Crew.
That one was pretty uplifting.
Yeah, I liked it. It had a couple moments at the end where you're like, "Oh man."
Star Wars
I agree with you. Yeah.
So
what I was really enjoying some parts of it.
What I was trying to say is that there are three of the like sort of nepo baby actors that I really like, who are like daughters or sons of really good actors who actually kind of did it well. One of them is Jack Quaid, who's played Hugh in The Boys. He plays a lot of different things. Another one is Maya Hawke and Wyatt Russell. Those are the ones who I would say are like really good at like acting on their own. They just happen to also have really famous parents. So,
speaking of Quaid, we didn't talk about Total Recall much,
No.
or
We didn't talk about the movies of
Paul Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven. Only because I think most people don't get the movies of Paul Verhoeven.
What a fucking shame, too.
All I have to say
Like,
is,
I'm sorry.
in order for you to really understand Paul Verhoeven, you have to watch Showgirls.
Oh my God.
You have to watch Showgirls.
Oh my
If you can
God.
stand Showgirls, then you deserve to
sit
watch
through that.
RoboCop,
RoboCop.
Total Recall, and Starship Troopers. Like that was his
I know.
his not an action movie, complete bust. As he says himself, the most unsexy, sexy movie that was ever made. He intentionally wanted to make it the least sexy movie ever.
Yep.
Because that man is a nihilist in the most academic sense. Not that he hated everything, but that man wanted to deconstruct every genre he ever made a movie for. So
I did not know that Paul Verhoeven was behind Basic Instinct too.
Yeah.
I learned something new.
Yeah. I mean, but if you're looking for like sci-fi, like goodness, if you have not seen, and somebody just listed them, like RoboCop, Total Recall, Starship Troopers, Fifth Element, like you're missing out on some of the.
Fifth Element was another wonderful French.
Well, that's Luc Besson. I was gonna say that's Luc Besson. Did he have was he a producer on?
He might have
Fifth Element?
been. Just because they're
An executive producer.
Let me look it up. He might have been.
Luc Besson is the primary mind, I feel like, behind Fifth Element, but RoboCop, Total Recall, and Starship Troopers are definitely all Paul Verhoeven.
Yeah.
Yep.
Luc Besson is Thousand Worlds.
Free Jack.
I know.
Oh my God.
No.
I just mentioned that.
Yeah.
You know what's cool about Free Jack is I didn't think that Mick Jagger could act. But he doesn't do that bad in that.
He was in Labyrinth.
Yeah.
Honestly, between Emilio Estevez and Mick Jagger in that film, in terms of best acting, I'd go with Mick Jagger.
Yeah, he was decent in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to look through.
I mean, I think like in Dune, the first one.
Oh, we're gonna talk about Sting? Yeah, we're gonna talk about Sting.
Oh yeah.
So over the top, and I'm the biggest Sting
1984.
fan in the world. I'm the biggest Sting fan in the world. But every time I watch that now, it's like, oh, it was so over the top. Oh God. It was so
So I think that kind of gives people an impression for other musical talent try to act. But yeah, Mick Jagger was pretty good.
Yeah.
That
I
is
have this thing where like every time I see an actor or even like a musician, if they do like a role, if I would ever, I always have like in my head, like if I were to ever meet them, you know, just be like sharing a taxi somehow, or like you see them in the subway or whatever, and be like, you know, and they, you know, I'm like, oh, hey, I remember you. You were the Fade Rotha, and you know, I would, and then they're like, that's what you remember?
Yeah.
And you don't remember any of my,
I
like,
legitimately
other
do that
movies?
with. There are some legitimate actors who what more popular movies, but I know them from their like really random tiny role. But I'm like, I love you in that one movie.
Yeah.
Who was?
Oh, you did other things?
John Rice Davies.
Oh, wow,
John Rice Davies is like everyone knows him as Gimli. I'm like, I know him as the professor from Sliders. Like that was
Sliders, exactly.
You know,
Sliders, yeah.
He's either like Sala in the
He's Sala to me. Yeah, he's Sala to me.
or Gimli, but I'm like he's the professor. Like that's how I first like remember him.
If I ever meet Samuel L. Jackson, I would just say thank you for being on Snakes on the Plane. That's what I would.
Yeah. I loved him in Jurassic Park. That's all I'm gonna say. You know.
Oh, okay.
You got to hit them with their worst moments. You know, Jennifer Aniston. Hey, I loved you in Leprechaun.
Oh God,
that's good stuff. Solid film. You're great.
Wow, God, we're getting into some into the weeds here because there was somebody who was in like one of the Hellraiser movies. Then I'm like, wait, they were in the Hellraiser movie? Like I forgot who it was. It was a young actress who ended up being like a big actor. Like, what the hell? Yeah, I was gonna say one of the.
I have to dip back, man.
One of the one of the things that I don't think we'll ever see an influence for, sadly, what I'd love to see is David Lynch. David Lynch is not a Chris Roberts guy. They would oil and water. He would not get along with that. But I'd love to see it because I love the ridiculousness of David Lynch films.
You did hit on something that I think we could talk about since we don't have any big questions, and that is the fact that there is some continuity of actors that Chris works with from Wing Commander
Oh yeah.
Right.
all the way till now too, which is there's a relationship there, and some of these actors, he's had before in other things, and then there's new people that were introduced, which is really interesting to me. As far as like a Gary Oldman, for example, but then you've got Rice Davies, who goes all the way back to the Wing Commander stuff. Hamill goes back to the Wing Commander stuff.
Yeah.
So carrying those relationships over with those actors, and the fact that they're willing to come back and work, even at this stage in their lives, says something about relationship. I mean, for some people, it says something about money, but I think it also has to do with relationship too.
And how about the fact that he had so many big name talent in Squadron 42, Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, but
they must believe in him in some regards as a director.
That's what I'm saying, Cobb. Yeah. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I mean, these guys don't have to do this work. Hamill does not have to do this work. Rice Davies does not have to do this work. No. And the fact that not only these actors who have this history with Chris, but then you get the introduction of those new actors who've come in now that you're talking about, Fast Cart. I think that's kind of cool that relationship is there. People want to do the project.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah. Well, I mean, another great example, this is kind of more lesser one, is that Chris Roberts was a producer on many smaller movies, and a lot of those actors who were in those smaller movies went on to do things like Game of Thrones, Boardwalk Empire, and a lot of like really big ones. But he was the producer who gave them a lot of their shots. So when Chris Roberts was like, "Hey, like Outlander," which was the movie that got Dave Haddock, who worked on Outlander, who ended up getting his connection to write for Star Citizen and Squadron through that. Are
we talking about the Outlander that's like I don't want to say a ripoff, but
it's a ripoff of Beowulf.
Influenced by Beowulf.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like that film.
Chris Roberts is
flew under everybody's radar.
He was an executive producer for that. Like he was one of the major influences on that. Like
I did not know that movie is actually not bad.
Yeah. There's a couple of movies that Chris produced that were not bad. Lucky Number 11, Lord of War.
Yeah, it's tracking that one.
And not just actors, you've got production people too, as you mentioned, Paul, production designers, artists who were Hollywood people who were brought on board to do a lot of stuff for Star Citizen as well. So again, relationship that's been maintained with these people. Some of these people worked on Star Wars, Star Trek, all these other things that we've enjoyed watching, and they've had some contribution to the development of Squadron and the persistent universe.
So just reminding people, when you see Chris Roberts and Sandy Roberts on a yacht, remember they're movie people. So that's what that's where they got the money. Not taking money from the project.
Well, one of my main actors in Outlander was why am I blanking on his name? He plays Cal Mason.
Because it's hard to pronounce.
It's Jack Houston. Jack Houston.
Dude, I'm gonna have to go back and watch Outlander.
Yeah, Jack Houston is one of the main actors. He's not the main actor.
Caviezel.
Yeah, Caviezel. Jim Caviezel, I think, or it was not Jim Caviezel.
Obviously, yeah. But I'm gonna have to look back and watch that for Jack Houston. I know you got a love relationship with Cal Mason.
I do. But Jack Houston's great. He's also in Boardwalk Empire. He plays in Boardwalk Empire. So, all right. But yeah, those are important. The reason why Chris Roberts was able to get so many big name actors is because he worked on as a producer or knew people who worked on producers, especially Ortman Freemuth. It just had so many connections that they was able to grab a lot of these big actors to come in and do stuff. So. Speaking of actors, there's only 2 actors that I'd really want to see in Star Citizen, and one of them is Nicolas Cage.
Shouldn't be hard to get him.
Just give him whatever role he wants. Whatever role he wants, let him go for it. You know, the most scene-chewy scene in Star Citizen. I don't mean Squadron. I mean Star Citizen.
That's
Star Citizen, not Squadron.
No, I'm
trying to think. Who would I want to see?
Make him the head of the council, like the outlaw council. You know, let him do it. All right. Chris did work with him on Lord of War, so he may have his contact, and he's famous. Will do stuff for money. He will do anything for money. So.
It's at that magical point in his career where it's like no paycheck is too small.
I think he's also always been that kind of guy who is just like, if he thinks it's fun, he'll do it, and then for that long period of time, he's like, I
like that attitude.
He for that long period of time, he's like, I got a lot of bills to pay. I need to pay those bills off. So you pay me enough money, I'll do it for you. And even if I'm showing up on stage for like 2 hours and leaving, fuck it. You paid me for 2 hours, I'm gone. But
I thought of someone. The guy who did Jar Jar from Star Wars. Which
Adam
Best.
Ahmed
Best. Ahmed Best.
Yeah.
Not an alien, but just him because he came back later as a Jedi. So
that was a solid redemption moment.
Yeah.
Give him some attention. There you go.
Mandalorian. Yeah, he did that.
Mm-hmm.
That was solid stuff.
All right, let's move on. Phantom asks, question to the rest of the panel: would you consider Alien a sci-fi movie or a horror movie?
I would say both.
Both. It was
So-
both.
It's one of the gold standard. We were talking about it earlier before the podcast, but it's the gold standard that married both of those genres. And so many B movie spinoffs tried to recapture that after that because everybody recognized what a milestone achievement that was. Like you talk about movies like Leviathan and Deep Star 6, like B movies that like kind of actually, by speaking of which, we talked about RoboCop, Peter Weller and Leviathan. Like, I mean, that's an Alien ripoff just under the water. But it was like so many people tried to capture that after that because they set such an amazing like precedent that you can just tell.
Yeah.
You can just tell. It's like, hey, we hit solid gold here by marrying those two things, and just carried on from there.
It's kind of like how everyone tried to rip off of Predator once Predator had been made, because they're like, well, I can go in the woods and have a bunch of guns. Like that was the whole thing. Go hunt monsters in the woods. So
you want action and science fiction? We can marry that, and we can try and keep doing that.
And for me, I'm not a horror fan or horror movie fan. I'm definitely not a horror fan, but Alien was okay. And I watched it early on because, especially like the younger I am, the less I am into horror. But when I watched Alien, it hit a mark. It was, it was action and sci-fi and had a great dialogue and great characters.
Yeah, I saw that young. That movie gave me nightmares for decades, man.
Yeah.
Which is a good mark on it. Like when a movie lasts like that with you in the horror genre, like
I'll tell you how much of a wimp I was. E.T. scared me. That's how much of a wimp I was.
All right. Well, let's get one thing really clear right now, and I don't care what chat says. E.T. is horrifying.
it is horrifying, especially the end.
It's horrifying.
The end when
I never heard someone else say that.
When they're chasing them through the freaking neighborhood, that thing is like
E.T. is like a fucking clown.
Yeah.
Like it's terrifying. I know you're not. You're supposed to be cute. You're supposed to be funny. You're not that. You're nightmare fuel, and we can all tell.
Yeah.
Like
I've never heard someone else say that. Thank you.
It is freaky. It is freaky when his head goes up like a periscope. That is freaky. I'll give you that much.
I mean,
that part is freaky.
The thing I think about E.T. is that it's almost filmed like a horror because there's that scene where
No. You know what happened? E.T. was supposed to be a horror film, but Steven Spielberg rescued it. It's supposed to be a horror film.
Because like there's the shot. There is the shot where he's blending in with the other stuffed animals, and I'm like, that's a straight up horror film. That's like from a Chucky movie. Like
it's the same scene from Poltergeist with the clown.
Yeah.
And the clown doll, and you're like, that clown is not right.
Yeah.
And it's gonna haunt my dreams forever. And that was the same way with E.T. in the moment when he's with all the other cute little stuffed animals, and you're like, cute, nightmare fuel. Cute. Yeah.
Folks, this is when you're in a generation that didn't grow up with The Exorcist. Okay, these guys are younger than me, and they're scared of ET. So,
well, the difference is that
that was just me.
The thing is that The Exorcist was always supposed to be a horror film from the beginning. E.T. was this family-friendly film with these horrific images out of nowhere that no one knew why,
And I admit I was a whip as a kid. Okay, to tell you this, Griffin, Star Trek scared me as a kid. I had to go into it. I was afraid of Star Trek.
Okay, Star Trek,
Oh, yeah.
in my defense, the original Star Trek series and even the Next Generation early series, they're all horrific. The people die in horrific ways in Star Trek all the time. It's just, you don't think of it as a horror movie because it's so clean.
Right.
You know, like how,
Yeah.
I mean, what is it, Wrath of Khan, when they put a freaking worm in the dude's ear to control them, and you
Yeah,
see the
that
whole
was
time
brutal.
as it's
That was-
burrowing into his skull and he's screaming?
By then I was okay, but I'm talking about like the original series.
Yeah.
You know how you had that ending and you had that alien face that came up in the end. That thing terrified
It
me.
scared you, really? That's funny.
All right.
I'm
funny.
amused that see, like Griffin's over there, like, I'm sorry, like demonic possession, obvious horror is what gets it for me. You guys, the cute and cuddly aliens, apparently,
That's
and it's
funny.
like, yeah, man, it's subtle. It's subtle. It's a different kind of horror for
I
get it.
Fastart
get
and
it.
I don't know.
You know,
I get it.
20 years from now, we're gonna hear someone say, "Oh, the Ewoks scared me. I was scared of them." Not.
Oh, we're talking about influences of Star Citizen. One of those the things that I'd really love to see influencing Star Citizen is the classic Twilight Zone formula. Because that's talking about horror, you know, like so much of Twilight Zone is science fiction. There's a lot of science fiction, but most of that is horror and that science fiction horror stuff. So I didn't think E.T. was that scary. I don't think E.T. is scary, but there are elements even when I was a kid, I'm like, this is weird. There's something weird about what's going on. Why are you framing this shot like this? What is like what?
Well, think about what you guys maybe some younger people grew up with, like an alien. They're thinking like Lilo and Stitch. You know, that's like a cute cuddly alien. You know? And we had E.T.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who looked like a ball sack. He looked like a ball sack, and like it's just not exactly the most cuddly thing you want to see.
Yeah, I was like,
I got to give a quick shout out in chat real quick. Extor said the transporter accident stuck with me for years. Me too.
Yeah.
In Star Trek: The Motion Picture, they had a transporter accident.
That was messed
freaked me
up.
out.
Yeah.
That was messed up.
do you guys remember Mac and Me? Do you remember Mac and Me?
Oh God,
The
Mac
E.T.
and Me.
I remember it.
Yeah.
Talk about another creepy ass looking alien.
Just completely didn't understand E.T. and we're just gonna do straight evil. I am a prisoner of the American government.
In the 1980s, Empire Strikes Back came out, right? One scene I remember vividly, I must have been 7 years old or something like that, when he went to he was on Dagobah and went to the swamp. No, the swamp. And he cut off Darth Vader's head. I was done. That was
Really?
Yeah.
and the head exploded, and I was done.
All right. Next question comes from Gruntlings, who asks, is there any influence, is there some influence on the internal industrial mining facilities from the movie Outland? Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah, probably.
Could be.
Man, talk about other like movies that are slipping under people's radar that they may not have seen them, ever. Mainly because they're just like not as well known for science fiction stuff like that.
1981.
Again, yeah. I put that in the same category. If you guys have not watched Space Hunter,
Watch Space Hunter.
Space Hunter is kind of like, it's got that formula of like a bounty hunter living on the fringe of the galaxy, kind of scraping money together, and goes on this like adventure on a desolate planet, like, and it's not bad at all. It's got Keith David in it, by the way, guys. I don't know how you don't like it. Try not liking a movie with Keith David in it. It's almost impossible.
Well, the other thing,
the guy did Todd McFarlane's Spawn, for fuck's sake. Like,
he's also the Arbiter from Halo.
He was in Mass Effect. He was in Gargoyle.
Yeah, he played the Admiral.
Puppet Masters.
Hackett.
Hackett. Yeah.
No, Hackett. Yeah.
Oh man, speaking of sci-fi movie that's fallen under everybody's radar, if you guys have not watched Puppet Masters, not to be confused with The Puppet Master. It's a very different film. Puppet Masters is actually based on a Robert Heinlein novel, and it came out in like 1990, 1991. And it's like very Invasion of the Body Snatchers, kind of like Alien Invasion kind of thing. Really good. Really good. Keith David in it. Keith David.
Griffin,
Keith David he's a good Mark. Anytime Keith David's in something, he's probably good.
Ooh, you want to talk about an actor I would like to see in Star Citizen? Keith David.
Oh yeah,
Mm.
1000%.
Yeah.
Again, he's probably like Cage. You could probably get him pretty easily. He's very available because he's usually one of those guys who's like, hey, you want to do something? He's like, I'm down, because he was in like lots of stuff recently. So he's kind of on the older side. Because one of my favorite Keith David moments is the meme throughout hell is his Tales from the Hood. Using Tales from the Hood. Where he plays the devil.
Yeah, I wasn't going to bring up Tales from the Hood, but yeah.
You're in hell, motherfucker!
He's in there.
It's great.
We'll give Paul a pass.
Yep.
I mean, I appreciate you bringing it back.
Omega's saying Ernie Hudson was in Space Hunter, not Keith David.
Mm.
Oh shit, you're right. That is Ernie Hudson. Yeah, my bad, guys.
But still, Ernie Hudson. He's
Not all black men look alike.
Whoa. There's that moment I was looking for this whole episode. I was like, oh, shit. I was like, that's going to be clipped, and I'm going to catch that at work. Shit.
You're welcome.
Well, I don't know how to move from there.
Well, I was going to say
Paul, quick, another question.
Outland is a great example because Outland is a space western. Mm-hmm. It's a remake of High Noon, but it was done in the era of post Aliens. So it was an Aliens mixed with High Noon is what it was. So that's a good one.
That was a good one though.
02 Midland asks, do you think Star Citizen Squadron 42 will play into the hopelessness the same way that Space Above and Beyond did with the alien invaders?
Maybe a bit.
No.
Bit, maybe. I mean, because I think they want to capture what it's kind of like when the Vendor shows up and there's no UE to protect you. Like, that might be a feature.
I think,
or he may model.
Go ahead, Griff.
No, I was just going to say, or he may model. Chris is heavily influenced by Star Wars, and there's the 3-part story. The first one was A New Hope, but then Empire was dark, and then there was Redemption in the third one. He did the same thing with the Indiana Jones stuff. And so if there's a 3-part story to Star Wars, so they can continue a story. There's a 3-act story there. You could possibly do something like that.
Yeah, I could see. I mean, I can definitely see that. The second one being a darker one, the first one being more
introductory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, based off of my discussions about lore and story with Dave Haddock, which I did. It's old now. It's like 2 years now when we did it on the Lore Citizens podcast with Dave Haddock. Is that their sort of approach to more of that gray zone, sort of like a shades of gray, but not wallowing in the gray, means that I don't think it's going to be super hopeless. I do think it's going to be more. There's definitely going to be elements in there of sort of the bureaucracy of the military, because you kind of already see that a little bit, where it's like this tiny little ship in the middle of a place where it's the only thing defending the space, and like they have to deal with like the locals not wanting them there, and then the other locals trying to kill them, and the military isn't going to send them any help, so you're just sort of alone. That's sort of, getting the shit assignment sort of thing, but making the most of it. But there's also a lot of like, it's Chris Roberts is clearly taking inspiration with like sort of, I wouldn't say mystery box storytelling, but he definitely wants to tell a mystery. And if you play like Wing Commander 4 or 5, he loves his mysteries. Like Wing Commander 4 is just a mystery. It's just a mystery that you have to solve by the end of it. So whereas like Wing Commander 1 is you're going to defeat the Karathi. You go fight some. You go pew 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 pew. So then again, you can also what is going on? Why is Night Cobb holding his? Did someone say something in chat or?
No, fast cards. DM me.
He is being crazy. They're messing with him.
I'll share it. Fuck it. I'll fucking share it. He said. He sent me a DM. Said, just making sure you're aware. I'm Fast Cart and he's Griffin. Okay. And I was just like.
It's okay. Fast Cart gets you and me confused too, Night Cobb. It's okay.
There you go. Touche.
Yeah. Sorry.
See, I got the worst part is that
This is what I should not do: is look at any DM messages that come up from Fastcard during your fucking podcast, Paul.
You should have known by now. You should know by now.
It's just one of those things that's on one of my alerts down there, and I just looked down and I was like, God damn it.
Paul, this is what I have to do when Fast Car is on the show. I have to take this out and just do this, just so I don't lose my mind. So just so you know, I have my little fidget thing.
Yeah.
We only have like 5 more questions left. This has been a good follow up to what we've been talking about before. We were a lot more all over the place with this one. We were a little more focused with like the 80s stuff. But this has been nice. Gin and Tonic asks, what sci-fi spaceships that don't have analogies in Star Citizen yet would you like to see? Buck Rogers' Thunder Fighter, the A-Wing. We have the A-Wing. It's called the M50. You know, but
the Arrow. The
and
Arrow
the
is
Arrow,
practically the A-Wing.
Yeah.
People have been. What's the Fast Car? The ship from Mass Effect. People have been.
Normandy.
That would be the C1,
Normandy.
I thought.
Normandy.
I thought that would be the C1
That's
or
the
A1.
C1 or A1.
Well, it's got some influence, but it's too small. I mean, we want
It's
something
too-
long
yeah.
and something that's
the
narrow
Sulaco.
like that.
I think is the one that I would say. The Sulaco
would be
is a
cool.
classic, only because
That
the
would be
Sulaco
cool.
heavily influenced the Pillar of Autumn. Like that's the one thing we didn't talk about before, which
did.
is like Halo is the first Halo is just Aliens, the video game. It's with Bungie, with Chicago Bungie, not Seattle Bungie, where like Bungie is doing its reread the 2 Lives of Charlemagne and cracked up a Kierkegaard philosophy and decided to do way too much LSD kind of storytelling.
Yeah. And the Flood is obviously like influenced by, again, John Carpenter with the Thing.
Yeah.
So,
It's doing the Aliens twist where it's like it's an action movie. You think you're in an action movie and suddenly nope, this is a horror movie. Kind of like almost like Predator did, which like Predator started off as like, yeah, this is badass alien big dudes and muscles doing big dude muscly stuff, and then like halfway through all the big dudes and muscles just start getting fucking killed, and you're like, what? Wait, well, I'm in a horror movie. This is a slasher movie. Where the fuck did this come from? That's the Halo twist, which is you start off being like, yeah, this is aliens. You're gonna go kill aliens because you're a badass cyborg, and then halfway it's like, congratulations, you're now in the Thing.
I mean, to steal an answer from earlier, maybe not a ship per se, but just an effect. The Death Blossom. I want to see that. I would love to have that in the game, but that's too overpowered. That's too overpowered.
I mean, I want a real legitimate Gunstar. I
Yeah.
mean, don't get me wrong, Guardian's close, but I want a Gunstar. What I love about the Gunstar, by the way, that he does adopt, and you can see it in a lot of his other ship designs. Like he loves that 2-person, like Top Gun, Last Starfighter appeal. Excuse me, where it's like you got a pilot navigator and you got a gunner. And I mean, you think about the Scorpius, you think about the Hurricane. Like he likes that.
Yeah,
the Super Hornet. Like he likes that idea, and I appreciate that too. So I like that idea that's still a heavy influence on his ship design. Because I don't know, I like the teamwork. I always like that. Everybody loved the Top Gun.
Other than that, I just want my Akira moment with the Ranger.
Yes.
And I want a Titan suit to be like a mech, but I don't think we're gonna get that.
I mean, that was my other answer is give me at least Appleseed mechs. Like
Ooh. Okay.
Something the size of a house. Something like that. But yeah, it's not gonna happen.
People who don't follow anime have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm there.
My weebs in the audience know what Appleseed is. I mean, that's another like very similar to style and in storytelling and like themes. It's cyberpunk a little bit. It's a little bit of Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah, definitely.
The Union Army needs something. Yeah. All right. Jin and Ton. Oh no, we already said that. The other thing was talk about the Thunder Fighter from Buck Rogers. I'd love to see like that sort of Jetsons futurism style that we see with Kruger. More of those ships, more of that design, because that's like whimsical almost in terms of its idealism of the future. But still really sleek looking. Any of those sorts of things would look nice. The old Flash Gordon and Buck Rogers sort of things. So
Yeah,
I
did we
mean,
go over Flash Gordon in this?
I mean,
Because we
Flash.
talked about a pre-show, right?
We did earlier. Well,
Okay,
not
yeah.
in
We talked about Buck
detail,
Rogers, but Flash Gordon's the
but
original.
we have Buck Rogers. Yeah.
they share a lot of similar thematic elements, though. Like,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think Flash Gordon's claim to fame though is honestly Queen. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
true.
I mean,
At
it's
least
like Highlander. It's like you
it's
can't
not
think
really-
Highlander, Flash Gordon without thinking of Queen,
Mhm.
one of the greatest rock bands of all time, and kind of associating. Again, I'll tell you though, almost all these movies that we talk about, and what Chris really understands, and what really relates to Star Citizen is he understands the power of music
Music.
in
Mhm.
drawing you into the theme of the game, the media that you're
Mhm.
playing. Like Pedro Camacho is nailing these thematic tones for different worlds, and like we all watched the Squadron 42 like first 45 minutes of gameplay, like
Jeff
all the
Zanelli, baby.
bagpipes.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like
Well-
he understands that at the root level of like if you want to have some grand space opera science fiction themes, like you need the music that carries that and that really like cements that IP in your head. Like Aliens has got it, Last Starfighter's got it. All these films that
Wing
we've talked about for the most
Commander's
part.
one of Wing
Wing
Commander
Commander.
movies' best aspect is its theme.
Yeah.
Its soundtrack is
Yeah,
good.
it's great. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and Chris even
Yeah.
talks about, if you hear Chris talk about some of his proudest accomplishments in video games, one of his proudest accomplishments he talks about was the adaptive sound system in the original Wing Commander. That adapted the music to change based off of the
Yeah.
environment that was going on. He coded that himself. And he talks about how that was
Which
just
is-
something he really liked doing. So he's a sound and music guy as well as a visuals guy.
It's kind of sad sometimes. I know that some people turn music down, and I understand if it's interfering with
Yeah.
hearing things because of gameplay. But there is a because of the cinematic side of it. I was thinking about something. Nightcop, you were saying, I just watched a video that Ali did. He flew somewhere. I don't know where he was, but it was someplace he had never been before, where mountain peaks were at the same place where clouds were, and the music that was coming through there was so cinematic. It was I hadn't heard
Yeah.
this music before, but you're talking about very talented artists. Zanelli for 42. I mean, these guys have worked with Hans Zimmer. These are really good music composers who really know what they're doing. And those artists in those films you talked about, Night Cobb, if you look at who the Jerry Goldsmiths and all the people are who
Yeah.
wrote those music for those films, I mean, there's a consistency there. And anybody who does anything with film will tell you that audio, sound, and music is the other 50% of what you're seeing on the screen. So I do understand from gameplay when people say, hey, I turn the music down, because we do that in a lot of games. But in this game, you need to give yourself just that one moment, even if it's the first time you fly into a system, to have that music on, or the first time you approach a planet to hear, because the composition work in this game is just really, really good.
I don't know about anyone else, but for me, most gamers to turn off the music. We've established that. For me, I try to go at least 2 weeks before I turn off the music or turn down the audio. But during an expansion or DLC, I turn it back up just to make sure I just to hear it, for that DLC and expansion. Then maybe I turn it back down again, depending on how much I like it.
Yeah, and like I said, I understand why people do turn it off when they're doing gameplay and stuff, but it's just if you get an opportunity just to hear it, it's some pretty good stuff out there from those two composers.
I think a lot of people get music, not blindness, but they get oversaturated with music.
Yeah, it gets to be a bit much, yeah.
And so, like, for us old heads who've been around for a long time, you couldn't turn down the music. Like, it was there was no options for turning down the music. So, like, you play an old, I don't remember.
Back in my day,
I don't remember Final Fantasy being able to turn down the music. Maybe they did, but I feel like that sort of benefited Final Fantasy because it has such good fucking music as part of it. It has always had really good music. You're muted, Nightcob, if you're talking.
Yep. There he goes. Or something turned off.
You're still muted. We can hear you.
Try again. I didn't do it.
Yeah.
Well, wait. Go run out to Micro Center, get a new mic. We'll wait for you.
You're talking. I can hear you coming through. I can hear you typing.
Okay, better.
Now you can hear
There
me.
it
Yeah,
is.
that's it. There we go.
There
Okay,
it
all
is.
right. Sorry, I think I hit the cord and I yanked
Yeah.
a little bit out of the mic.
That's okay.
I totally lost my train of thought.
We're talking about
talking
Final
about
so
Fantasy.
you were talking about Final Fantasy. I was like, I'll go you one better, man. Like, talk about the old gold cartridge Zelda. Like,
Yeah.
if you grew up with that, like you've got that soundtrack like ingrained in your brain deep somewhere. And it's not in a bad way.
Yeah.
And you know, I always appreciated you know, I mean how many of us grew up, most of us are old enough with like Star Wars. If you watch that young as a kid, when the Force theme, you know, kicks up, or Binary Sunset, or whatever it's officially called, you know, when Luke's looking over the Tatooine sunset, like that tugs at my heartstrings. It's that good. Like it's one of those things, like I don't tear up easily, but you know, that song comes on at the right moment and you're like,
yep.
Okay, get me.
Yeah.
And you know, I think Squadron 42 and Star Citizen in a lot of ways are getting really close to that. I think if we had more game, the music would be more impactful and it would be more cinematic. But it's close. It's like really close, and you can tell like it's got those moments where like every time you fly to like Bloom or whatever and Pyro, or every time you warp into Levski, that can mean a lot to you, and you'll probably start turning the music off.
Landing in Levski is still my favorite theme. I love that.
Yeah.
For me, it's the opening call for Star Wars that always gets me, because there's something about that, those first notes that hit you and the blang.
Yeah, it's hard not to feel that way about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And also, like, some people may call it fantasy more than sci-fi, but I call it both. But the Superman opening too. John Williams.
Oh man, John Williams, man.
John Williams is basically the soundtrack of my childhood, right?
Star Trek, Superman. You know,
Yep. Total agreement. Last Starfighter is one of the talk about underrated soundtracks for a lower level movie. Like I could listen to this. I could listen to the Last Starfighter theme all day, every day. It'd be okay. So
I have to check that out. I don't remember it offhand, but I'll check it out.
You made him watch the movie, right, Griffin?
I did watch the movie. I just don't. It's been a while. It's been a while.
Oh man, the soundtrack is outrageous good. Craig Safan, by the way, in case people were wondering.
Okay.
Coming back to the topics we talked about before, how like Chris Roberts is hugely impacted by the works of why am I blanking on his name? I talked about before. Guy who did Alien, the original Alien, and Blade Runner. Now I'm going to have to.
Music or directors you're talking about?
The director.
Oh,
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott.
Ridley Scott. Thank you. Ridley Scott. One of his consistent collaborators is Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer works with him all the time, and of course, what is Jeff Zanelli but a student of Hans Zimmer's? Like, exactly. And it's also important to remember that Zanelli did the Pirates of the Caribbean music. Like, he was one of the writers on the original, one of the composers in the original Pirates of the Caribbean, but as way he tells it, he wrote the theme for Pirates. The theme you've heard, is Jeff Zanelli, which I 100% agree after hearing him do the Squadron and then the UEE like hymn with those bagpipes. It's like, nope, he's definitely the guy who did that. He understands how to score an action adventure film, you know.
Yeah.
I'm so sad we can't hear his soundtrack because it's so fucking good already, and I haven't played the game, and I'm like, why do I want to buy the soundtrack when I know like half I don't even know half the songs on this damn thing, and I know it's gonna be banger after banger because it's Jeff Zanelli. But what's the worst thing about the Last Starfighter?
I already answered it, but I'll do it again when we get to it.
I mean, did you say it didn't age well?
I don't think,
in my opinion,
I think it aged fine. I think it's
maybe the graphics.
It's so low.
Yeah, the graphics.
It's just in context of what it was at the time.
I love Babylon 5. But the worst thing
yeah.
about the
I
Babylon
was about
5
to say this.
is the fucking graphics. They are.
You know,
No,
wrong.
the worst thing
They're
about Babylon
awful.
5 is
It's
the
better.
creature effect. The creature effect.
It gets better, but in the beginning, ooh, it's rough.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
great.
To be honest with you, it's for Babylon 5 and me. It's not even just the graphics; it's the production quality. Is honestly what the real shame of it is.
Mhm.
For the
Like
right.
Last Starfighter, you can watch in like HD,
Yeah.
and it looks great.
Mhm.
It looks really.
Mm.
You watch in 4K, it looks really great.
Really?
Outside of the CGI like computer scenes,
Yeah.
but like
Yeah.
when you're
Yeah,
watching when you're watching the humans, you know,
Mhm.
the real actors and the costumes and stuff like that. Last Starfighter looks fantastic
Mm.
for its age. But you watch
But-
Babylon 5 and you're like, oh god, this looks so
Yeah.
like 1990s early TV
Flat
like,
film.
No, it looks like
filmed very
1970s.
flatly. There's no
like
lighting
70s.
depth. You know, yeah.
Yeah, the production. It's
The
a
production
shame because
quality's
that
bad.
story
Great
is
story.
so
Story is
good.
Great story.
And the actors are
Yeah.
Great
amazing.
story.
You know, the actors
Yeah.
bring it.
But
And,
yeah.
And the actors are amazing too. They got the guy from Tron too.
Yeah.
Black Fighter.
Well,
Yeah.
Space Above and Beyond unfortunately suffers from the same disease. Like you try and go back and watch that, and you're like,
Mhm.
God, this looks really bad.
its problem is
but
that
it's a great story.
it's filmed flat, but it's also got its show creators problem, which was that man loved dark. He loved to have black half the screen. So like when you're not seeing a well lit room, you're seeing almost nothing. Like
Yeah, true.
it's so black in terms of like the even like the fighter scenes, which you watch something like even the old Battlestar Galactica, where it's like they lit the face up, you can kind of see the uniform. With them, it's the like barely light this part of the face, and it's like you can barely see them move around the cockpit. And then it's got the same problem with the CGI, where it's like the CGI they reuse the same CGI things like 4 times, just because it's shut up, Fast Cart.
Watch see it in my eyes.
All I'm saying is watch early X Files and like if you don't have the color correction on, it's almost like they screwed up the color correction, even though it's intentionally that dark because it's supposed to be like mysterious, but my professor worked on The Last Starfighter. Reasons why the CGI looks good, and that it's not polygons, but rendering technique that uses models using NURBS. Oh, interesting.
What's a NURB?
I feel like I just got set up Wesley like from TNG, but that's okay. I'll take it. It's fine. I'm good with it. Shut up, Wesley. You don't.
Yeah, shut up, Wesley. Well, no, I saw you type.
Sorry.
I saw you
Next
type
Generation.
in the chat as I was talking. It's like, so black. What? No.
You already know.
Gasoline
Meanwhile,
Moth.
Griffin's over there with his fidget spinner, by the way. That's why he's looking down. He's spinning the fidget.
This already know.
All right. Gasoline Moth asks, question, what do you think of Farscape's influence? Focus on wormholes, biomechanical Leviathan ships, the Stinger, etc.
It's a good question.
I don't think there is
I
much
was
of
never
it.
into Farscape. I was never into Farscape that much. So
I love
can't
Farscape.
comment.
I loved it.
I love Farscape.
But I don't think it's
Yeah,
too.
but I don't see much influence.
I don't see much influence. The one thing I could see influence come from is Sandy, because Sandy is from Australia, and that entire show is pretty well loved in Australia because it was an Australian production with a lot of local Australian actors in there.
I will say the biomechanical. Maybe you see that with the Xeon stuff.
Mm-hmm. But I imagine the
Well, I
biomechanical.
kind of agree with Chad. Like they talk about the Stinger a lot, looking like Farscape.
It does.
It's not
I wouldn't be
far off.
surprised if the designers are influenced by Farscape in some of the case.
Yeah.
But
I mean, in general, like it's a weird tone though, and it's not really well represented in
yeah,
Star Citizen.
I don't think the
feel
tone
like I
is
like
there.
Farscape.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Farscape though. It's a great sci-fi TV show, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the people, designing the game like watched that and ripped off of it in some way, shape, or form.
I love Farscape. It was a great show.
It's very Stargate SG-1 in terms of its like tone. They're very similar tone, but the difference between Stargate SG-1 and Farscape is that like Stargate SG-1 is this sort of like we're gonna go out and do these fun adventures. Whereas like Farscape is like Stranger in a Strange Land. More it's like it's Heinlein when he did a lot of drugs. Sort of story.
Yeah.
So
For me,
It's not wrong.
Stargate had more of a military background,
Yeah.
whereas Stargate was more civilian.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's more. It feels more. What was that show? Like especially in season 1, was all like new disasters. So like that's why I don't think you see
Disaster of the week.
kind of a disaster of the week thing. But it's like everything was new to the main character. Was John Crichton? Was his name?
Yeah, John Crichton was in it. Yeah.
Ben Browder.
Ben Browder. Yeah.
Who later on, him and Claudia
Both were in Stargate.
Black went on to Stargate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Vera. Not Vera. Was it Moira? What was the name of his gun?
Moira.
Was it Moira?
Right. Yeah. The ship.
No, I mean his gun. He named he named his gun. It was before before they did it on Firefly. He had his famous name for his gun.
Winona.
Winona. Yeah, after Winona Ryder, which was great.
Yeah.
I didn't. Okay, yeah, you didn't bug a question. All right, we've got three questions left. Trash Bandicoot asks, with the engineering talk about the release and more talk about AI NPC helpers, what are the chances we get a 2001 Space Odyssey WALL-E style rogue AI story arcs? Dave, what are you doing, Dave? Very high. Almost guaranteed at some point. The reason why is because AI as a story element has been in the background forever. And one of the main pitches that the current Imperator had was to bring AI into the verse. It was like the whole to restart the research. And when they were talking about if she had won, they said the difference if she wins versus if somebody else won, the difference would be if she didn't win, when you go to an illegal AI research facility, it'll be illegal. If she wins, it won't be illegal. It's sort of trying to tell you about it's not going to change the story elements of what they want to do. They'll just change some of the context around those stories. So, yeah, I do think we're going to see some of that. I don't know when, but I think it's going to be, if anything, it'll be a side story in 1.0. I don't think it's going to be a main plot point, but we're definitely not going to see it next year, because whatever stories they have is going to be around Nyx 1 and around the Vanduul and Nyx. Those are the two main stories. So, yeah. 1, 2, 3. We got 2 more questions. Kenless says, question: the Kraken landed planetside has the same vibe as the Pillar of Autumn in Dry Dock and Reach. I could say
I never played
Halo.
I never played Halo.
To me, it always has a more of a Forward Unto Dawn in Halo, or like a Voyager landing vibe when Voyager landed.
That's the movie, right? The Halo movie, Forward Unto Dawn.
That is, but
that's Forward Unto Dawn.
The actual, I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about in the game.
The ship.
The ship Forward Unto Dawn is.
Okay, gotcha.
Is in Halo 3. There's a great scene in Halo 3 where it comes down to land to give you more troops, and it blows everything around, and then that kind of thing. It's very. I get what they're trying to say though. It has a sort of a more militaristic theme almost when you see the Kraken docked. It doesn't feel like a civilian ship because it looks like a dry dock that looks like it came straight out of the military. And there's a reason why in lore, because all of the dry docks that Drake uses to build all their ships were military dry docks that were abandoned that Drake bought for cheap because the military abandoned the system.
Something just occurred to me. I never played Halo, but I watched some of the cutscenes and I watched some of the TV show. One thing I would like to see is maybe having an alien culture have a Dyson sphere or a halo ring around the planet.
We could, I wouldn't be surprised if they did something like that, but because it's a common trope, but we'll see.
Right.
All right, the last question is a meme question. New Soul Sounds asks, "Why haven't you muted Fast Cart's mic yet? It would have been the best Christmas ever."
And I answered because I'm a
You hold your
mod.
tongue.
You can't
You
mute
hold your
me.
tongue. This card is a gem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
A
Thank you.
dangerous
Yeah,
gem.
he is a treasure, buried one. A buried one. He's a treasure. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the last question. Thank you to Night Cobb for suggesting this many months ago. And thank you for Fastcart and Griffin for coming on and lending their knowledge. This is a fun episode to do. Hopefully you got something out of it as well. And if you did enjoy this, make sure you check out Griffin and Fastcart on Soul Citizens on Sundays. It's Sundays at 9 p.m. or 8 p.m.?
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. 7 p.m. Eastern.
Eastern.
Which would be 4 p.m. Pacific, I want to say. On the top of my head. And check out Night Cobb on Armchair Admirals and Generals, or when he streams, sometimes, maybe never.
We'll see. I don't want to disappoint the one or two of you that are gonna like go out and like click my handle and be like, "Oh, look, he has a channel. It hasn't been used in a while."
And Night Cobb, I'm looking forward to hearing what your commander say about this episode. So
Oh man, it's not gonna go well after that whole Ernie Hudson Keith David thing. That's for fucking sure.
And if you did enjoy this, we do this every Saturday. Well, not every Saturday. We do these on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/theastropub, youtube.com/@the-captain's-table-podcast. Would love to have you come join us live and ask your own questions. And check us out on our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, all of the podcast formats. And these do go live on YouTube after the fact. I was trying to do Mondays and Wednesdays, sometimes I did Mondays and Fridays, but I tried to break it up into two parts because the YouTube algorithm does not like a 4-hour video. Don't get me, and I already get enough complaints about people being like, why don't you timestamp all of the questions? It's like, I don't have time for that. This is an hour and 30 minutes.
Hey, if they want to volunteer, let them have it.
Feel free, hopefully you enjoyed this. Like I say every time, hope to see you someday in the black. I'm waiting for his fast card. Waiting for it.
Nope.
Nope.